Welcome to Simply Suspicious, where history is never just beautiful and beauty never comes without consequence. Today, we're walking through the Galerie d'Apollon inside the Louvre Museum, a corridor of gold ceilings, mirrored light, and the remnants of monarchy. For centuries, France's crown jewels have survived revolutions, exiles, and empire. As of this week, that record finally broke. France's royal regalia began in the Middle Ages, but it was under Louis XIV, the Sun King, that jewels became political language. Versailles was his theater, and gemstones were his script, every diamond another sermon about divine right. Among his prizes was the Regent diamond, 140 carats of flawless light discovered in India around 1698, purchased by the crown a few years later. It gleamed in coronation crowns and later in Napoleon Bonaparte's sword. The Regent was joined by the Sancy diamond, a pale yellow, 55-carat stone that passed through English and French hands for centuries, and the Hortensia diamond, soft pink and delicately flawed. Together, they became symbols not just of monarchy, but of France itself. By 1789, revolution was swelling outside palace gates and inside the royal storehouses. In 1792, while the monarchy crumbled, thieves broke into the Garde Meuble de la Couronne, stealing nearly the entire collection. Some pieces were recovered years later, others vanished forever into private vaults and history's fog. The jewels had been meant to sanctify kingship. Instead, they became evidence of its collapse. Then came Napoleon Bonaparte, determined to crown himself in style. He reassembled what jewels remained, commissioned new ones, and turned the regalia into symbols of his own legitimacy. After his fall, the jewels once again changed meaning, from relics of monarchy to artifacts of art. By the late 19th century, the Third Republic decided to sell most of them. Only the most historic pieces, the Regent, the Sancy, the Hortensia, and a few exceptional diadems, were kept for the Louvre's permanent collection. Among the treasures that survived were those created by Empress Eugenie, wife of Napoleon III, her crown, fashioned in 1855 by jeweler Gabriel Longminiere, glittered with more than 1,300 diamonds and 56 emeralds. It was not subtle, but then neither was empire. Other sets belonged to Empress Marie-Louise, whose emerald necklace and earrings became some of the most iconic jewels of the 19th century, and to Queen Marie-Amélie and Hortense de Beauharnais, whose sapphire pieces rounded out the Louvre's display. For modern visitors, these weren't just adornments. They were the last tangible echoes of a world that tried to preserve power in platinum and stone. On the morning of October 19, 2025, the Louvre's quiet perfection shattered. Thieves entered the museum before opening hours, using ladders and scooters in what investigators described as a 7-minute operation. They stole multiple historic jewels, including pieces from the emerald set of Empress Marie-Louise, sapphire jewels of Marie-Amélie and Hortense, and brooches from Empress Eugenie's collection. One piece, the crown of Empress Eugenie, was later recovered, damaged but intact. The Regent diamond and the Sancy diamond remained safe. They're secured separately, but the theft left the Galerie d'Apollon dimmer, a wound in France's relationship with its own reflection. When I stood in that gallery just weeks ago, the cases gleamed with an almost impossible stillness. The jewels weren't just beautiful, they were survivors. To see them gone now feels like history has been pickpocketed. For centuries, these stones were witnesses to crowns placed, crowns shattered, and the long, uneasy romance between power and display. And even now, behind police tape and headlines, they remind us of something that's always been true, that nothing humans build, no matter how exquisite, is ever truly beyond reach. I'm Sarah, and this has been Simply Suspicious, where even the brightest relics cast the longest shadows. If you are interested, I have placed several references in the show notes, as well as some additional reading if you want a deeper dive into the pieces referenced in today's show. I will also have pictures of the Louvre and some of the stolen jewels from my trip there not too long ago over at simply_suspicious on Instagram. Bye, y'all.